we had a Tory MP on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about true conservatism and how this Brexit question has confused everyone and in some respects divided true conservatives on both sides. And he actually name-checked you from the ether. He said someone like, for example, Sam Gyimah, there's a true conservative who has got lost somehow in this Brexit controversy. Are you a true conservative?
I would say that the values that attracted me to the Conservative Party are no longer the values that today's Conservative Party holds dear. I never thought, for example, I'll be in a Conservative Party where the rule of law and it's something that is being questioned. That whether or not the government will respect the law is something that is a news item today. So the Conservative Party has left those values, and I looked and I could see that a lot of those values, liberal values, the values of liberal democracy, are the principles that the Liberal Democrats represent, which is why I'm here.
Had there not been this crazy 3-month period leading up to now with things like the prorogation and questioning rule of law, would you still be a happy member of the Conservative Party?
No, I think what we've seen, before the referendum, you had a Conservative Party that was very much in the centre ground of British politics, and why you could have a coalition with the Liberal Democrats. That was actually a very productive coalition. And ever since the 2016 referendum, initially slowly, but then it's gathered pace since the 2017 general election, the Conservative Party has moved further and further away from that point. And if you think about the fact that the Conservative Party has won one small majority in the last 27 years, and that was on a centrist platform. And today, the party has moved away from all of those principles. And for someone like me who respects liberal values and open and tolerant society, you're kind of lost in the Brexit, in a Conservative Party that defines itself purely today by its Brexit position.
You know Boris Johnson. He was the Liberal Mayor of London. He voted for gay marriage. He is in favour of immigration. He is an internationalist. He's liberal in pretty much every sense of the word. Is it purely Brexit? And if it wasn't for Brexit, you'd still be a comfortable member of Boris Johnson's.
I think you're simplifying by saying, is this purely Brexit? I mean, Brexit is immense. Brexit will define our nation for decades to come. A no-deal Brexit Conservative Party essentially becomes an English nationalist party because of the risk to the union of a no-deal Brexit. It ceases to become the party that goes after competitiveness and enterprise. It ceases to be a party that respects the rule of law, because being able to deliver that means that you have to take a scorched earth approach to our constitution and our convention. So you can't just say, oh, it's only Brexit, and then but everything else is fine. Brexit is reshaping our politics. It's reshaping voters' definition and how they identify, and it's reshaping the parties. And I don't have a place in a no-deal Conservative Party, and I don't want a place in a no-deal Conservative Party. I think our national interest is served differently, and that is why, when I spoke to Joe Swinson, I was delighted to join the Liberal Democrats.
Are there areas of, this sort of philosophical dating game, are there areas of the Liberal Democrats that you do feel there's more of a distance between you? I mean, we had Miranda Green here earlier, and she was saying that, the more Blairite, straightforwardly Blairite new members such as Chuka Umunna might be an easy fit, but when it came to your economic ideas about lower taxes and so on, there might be more of a battle with your new Lib Dem party. What's your take on that?
Well, I would say that I don't see it as simply as that. All the parties are changing. If you had said 3 years ago that the Labour Party would be led by a hard left leader where property rights were being questioned, none of us would have believed it. By the same token, if you had said the Conservative Party would be focused more on protectionism, because that's where it's going, rather than free market economics, nobody would have believed it. I think one of the things where the Liberal Democrats have a competitive edge is that the foundations of our liberal democracy are being contested. So even before we get to the point of what do you want the top rate of tax to be, you've got to believe in markets, you've got to believe in the rule of law, you've got to believe in an open society. And the Liberal Democrats are the only party that is actually championing those things. And what comes out of it...
potentially the Liberal Democrats are more pro-market than the Conservatives.
I think,
that where
well,
we're
I
headed?
mean, Brexit is a very protectionist approach. What we're saying is that the largest market on our doorstep, we are actually going to put up barriers, market barriers. That is protectionism. But what I think is what will come out of this process, and you've got people like Chuck O'Muna, who's a friend of mine. It was great to see him and me, and we all want to succeed and serve our country. Is, I think, a politics that would be focused on prosperity as much as social justice. And there's no reason why they have to be mutually exclusive.
If a deal does come back, is there any deal that you would support?
There is no deal that can satisfy people like Peter Bone in the Conservative Party and at the same time satisfy people in the Labour Party. It is not
There's
possible.
talk of this cross-party group, the Kinnock Amendment and so on. If there is a negotiated cross-party deal...
It is not possible because your Kinnock people want workers' rights, they want they want frictionless trade, and the Spartans in the Conservative Party want the most basic free trade agreement with the EU because they want to hitch our wagon to the United States. There are competing visions of Britain's future. One Brexit where we are closely aligned and we're a rule taker rather than a rule maker, and another Brexit where we're closely aligned with the US, where we are basically a satellite state of the United States. They're different visions, and neither of them is optimal for us as one of the largest economies in the world. I believe that one of the strengths of our European position is that we sit at the top table. All we'll be doing in any deal is passing the referee's whistle from one place to another.